Welcome to Retired Rider. Hope that you're doing well today. Well, we have made it to our temporary new home, new to us. We'll be here for probably a year or so, and then we'll be searching for another house, which will be our, hopefully, our permanent home. We won't be moving again. I feel like we're gypsies. We've moved so much in the last 5 or 6 years. Anyway, got a little something I want to talk about today, a little topic I want to talk to you guys about today. And that's groups, like Harley groups, Harley owners group, Goldwing groups, forums, things like that. I know as I flip through these groups, I noticed, whether it be Harley or whether it be, the Valkyrie group or the Vulcan group or just whatever groups out there. And people are posting their pictures of their bikes and things like that and talking about their stuff, and which is great. It's great to have those groups, like-minded people ride the same bikes, everything. It's pretty awesome. But I have noticed a lot of things on here that's not awesome. That's just not good at all. And that is, somebody will say, well, I'm having an issue with my bike. Say, I can't, just something as simple as I can't get the oil filter off. Or, how do I do my brakes on my bike? And people will just lambaste them, man. Just blast them, laughing at them because they can't get an oil filter off, or they can't get their brakes off. I mean, if you can't do your own brakes, why do you have a bike? If you can't get your oil filter off, why are you riding a bike? I mean, they get really, really, really nasty and make fun of these people. And to me, it's like, just because you can't work on your bike doesn't mean you can't ride a bike. How many people out there can't work on cars? 30 plus years in the automotive industry, and I know a lot about cars. I can work on my own motorcycle too if I wanted to. Sometimes I don't because I just don't want to, and sometimes I do. Lately I've been doing a lot of work on the bikes. I've been doing more work because hell, everything's so expensive. And I just order my parts and I put it on myself. But I mean, there's just people out there that don't know how to work on cars, they're not mechanically inclined, and they ain't gonna be able to work on motorcycles. Doesn't mean that you can't, say you can't work on your car and you have no knowledge of mechanics and you can't work on your car. So does that mean you shouldn't drive your car or you shouldn't have a car? Same thing with a motorcycle. So you ride a motorcycle. You might be the greatest rider around, you might be excellent on it, years and years on your bike, know how to handle it, know how it works, blah, blah, blah. But you might have an issue with some iron. You might have an issue with an oil filter. You might have some issues with your brakes and just, and you don't know how to do certain things. Or you might not know, what this switch does or what that switch does. I've seen on there, they'll have an error and say, do you know what this switch does? And people just laugh at them like, well, you idiot, it does this. Or if you don't know what it does, you shouldn't be on a motorcycle. That's not cool. That's not cool. So I used to be on those groups. When I had the Valkyrie, I was on the Valkyrie owners group. When I had, a Vulcan before this Vulcan, I was on the Vulcan owners group. And I seen all that stuff and I was like, delete. Because it's like, and I'm doing the same thing. I see that a lot on the Harley forums too, and the Harley Club, Riders Club, and stuff like that. Just people asking simple questions because they don't know. And they're trying to do it themselves. They're trying to figure it out. They just don't know, so they're asking for help. Now, there is a lot of people on there that legitimately say, well, try this, or did you try this, or do that, and they try to help them out. Or they'll say, private message me and I'll walk you through it or whatever. But there's a lot of people on there that say, well, if you can't do it, if you can't do it yourself, if you can't fix your bike, you shouldn't own a bike. Okay, I don't agree with that. And if you do, much respect to you, but being disrespectful for people, that people are on there trying to ask a legitimate question on what's wrong with their bike, why is it vibrating, why is it, what do you think this or this, and then they just go, if you don't know, don't ride, shouldn't be riding a motorcycle. Come on, really? I mean, if you don't have if you ain't got anything good to say or some advice for the person to give them some good advice, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything at all. Why you gotta make fun of them? Like I said before, just because you ride a motorcycle doesn't mean you can work on the motorcycle. Just because you drive a car doesn't mean you have knowledge on mechanics on a car. I mean, it is what it is. Don't make fun of people because they're legitimately reaching out to try to get some help to figure out a problem they have. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I could look past it and move on, but it's just like, I don't understand it. That's what makes me not want to be part of any kind of group. Any kind of group on Facebook, any kind of group anywhere, because like, always got, excuse my language, assholes out there that gotta be just complete assholes because somebody's legitimately asking for some help and make fun of them. Dude, that's not cool. It's just not cool. I mean, why? What do you get out of that? What do you get out of making fun of somebody that's asking a question about how do I get to this boulder, or how do I, and you're making fun of them because, excuse me. I don't know. I don't get it. That's why I don't want to be a part of none of that stuff. It's just, it's pointless. Why do you do it? Why make fun of somebody? If you don't know, you don't know. I thought that's what those forums were for. I thought that's what those groups were for, to reach out to your fellow biker and say, hey, could you help me out? I'm not sure what's going on here. What is this, or what is that, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? And then you'll have guys say, well, look it up on YouTube. Okay, that's fine. That's good advice. But you ain't got to be an ass about it. Just say, well, hey, if you just punch it in on YouTube, what you're looking for, what you're trying to do, it'll show you, you'll find a video that shows you step-by-step instruction. And that's out there, and that's great. It's a great tool because, me, when I was growing up, before I even got into the automotive, I had to go through training and all that to get in. But now, man, just about anybody, whether you're mechanically inclined or not, just about anybody can look something up on YouTube. It'll give you, whether you're working on your motorcycle, your car, your house, whatever, you can find anything and it'll give you, there's good people out there with good videos that'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to do stuff. And I think that's great. So that's good advice for people, but you ain't got to be an asshole when you give the advice. Well, look it up on YouTube, dummy. Yeah, no, come on, man. Why? Again, I ask why. If that bothers you, please bloop it down there in the comment section and let me know. But it just does bother me. Like I said, we're in I'm hoping 1 year temporary home. It's not a big garage, big enough for the 2 bikes. At least I get a place to record a video without all the traffic noise that we were in that storage unit. That was crazy. I mean, that whole month and a half, 2 months was nuts, man. Going from Airbnb to Airbnb and trying, things just got out of control. We couldn't find a house that we wanted. Every house we looked at was like, it's either too much money or it just wasn't, big enough, or it was something. And then we had some family issues came up that kind of put things on hold. So it trapped us in a point where we had to lease a house. Unfortunately, I hate it. Let me tell you what, I hate leasing a house. I haven't rented anything in I don't know how 30 plus years, and I can't stand it because if I want to change something, I want to change it. I don't want to ask somebody, can I change this, can I change that? I can't stand that. I got to own my own house. Plus I got to have a bigger garage. I got more space for my stuff. At least here we have a place for the trailer and everything. We don't have our stuff in storage no more, which at the other house we did. So I'm hoping from this point on we'll get a good place, nice barn, pole barn, something where we can just spread out, maybe an acre land. It should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that happens within the next year. Anyway, yeah, please bloop it down there in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about those, Harley riders groups, whatever group you're in, and why people got to be assholes on there. Why? Why do you got? Pardon my language. I don't use bad language very often, but you know what? I was just looking at it. I was looking at one of them, yesterday or the day before, and I seen that again. I was like, I got to do a video on this. This is ridiculous. Let's just show each other respect. And like I said, if you don't have anything good to say or good advice to give somebody, and you got to make fun of them, just don't say anything at all. Let it go. To you it might seem simple. To you it might seem basic. To me it might seem simple. To me it might seem basic. And, you write off, what the issue is. But not everybody's like that. They don't know. They're not mechanically inclined. They don't know. They're trying to learn. That's why they're reaching out so they can do it themselves. That's why they're reaching out to other people that know so they can do it themselves. Like I said, a lot of you out there don't know how to work on cars, have no clue, but you drive cars. A lot of people that ride bikes don't know how to work on their bike, but they ride bikes and they're great riders. You don't tell a guy, well, if you don't know how to fix your bike, don't ride. Well, if you don't know how to fix your car, don't drive. I mean, the same thing. It's just silly. I wouldn't say that to anybody. I wouldn't say that to a soul. Anyway, guys, be safe out there. We'll see you on the next one. Take care now.